everybody? My name is Ibram Chilufia and welcome to What the Tech podcast. Today I am joined with your host, Amukelo Kumalo, and unfortunately someone is missing, but we have a replacement here, I'm going to introduce him as Tyler's boyfriend actually, because he does have a funny story to tell.
Tyler, the creator.
Nah. Not that Tyler. No. He's gonna tell us. He's gonna tell us which Tyler we're talking about. But like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in honor students in game design, Luba, and today he's gonna be joining us. Maybe before we start the podcast, you can actually tell us the Tyler story as an icebreaker. And before you go into that, tell us how you feel about just being here.
Yeah, no, it feels good to be here. I mean, everyone knows I love talking. I don't stop talking. So
Yeah.
I don't know how long the episode's going to be. If it's long, hide it, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
It feels great to be here,
Okay, now fair enough. And please go into the Tyler story. I feel like everybody needs to know.
There are some things that shouldn't be on camera, on the internet. Digital footprints is real. I'll just say that song, Make Me Sweat, Make Me Water.
There was a reason it was made. And he's the reason.
I'm just gonna say that, it's a lovely song. You guys should go listen to it. I think, copyright laws, but like, they
know the song.
Imagine it playing in the background ambiently, just imagine that, yeah.
On the podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast.
Right, we'll be talking about serious stuff. It won't matter.
Yeah, let's just imagine hustle economy, water,
Jesus
Christ.
Jesus Christ. All right. And before we get into it, how was your guys' week actually?
It was, I was sick for most of last week. This week was spent recovering. So generally an okay week, better than last week for sure, because I was dying last week.
Oh yeah. Yo. But when you told me that, hey, dog, I had a flu shot, I'm like, hey.
Had to get an injection, all that stuff.
Okay, no, but can you confirm from the last episode, right? You're like, oh, I was in your car when you were sick. Did I infect you?
If people watch the videos, the timeline does make it look like you made me sick.
No.
Bro, sounds sensitive. Yeah, no, I don't blame you, bro, for the sickness. I don't know where I got it from, but it was not him. I'm doing better now.
I calm. Luba, how's your week, though?
Yeah, long week, just getting work done, pushing as hard as I can. You know that week before exams, that's like last paper syndrome versus do or die all in one, So a lot was happening, but we made it through the week,
Do you guys have exams?
Yes, we do, but depending on what you're majoring in, a lot of our exams are like practicals. So we'll have 3 months to create some sort of prototype or product and hand it in. Those are how a lot of our exams go. Some are essays, some are in-person quizzes, which I really hate, but there's quite a few ways they test us.
Hey, it must be nice being in honors, eh? Yeah, fair.
Hey, it's rough, folks. It's rough. Research. Hey.
No, but other than that, man, I think now we can dive into the topic. We've done our house. Wait, by the way, are the ladies behind the camera? Are you guys good? Are you guys good? Zakiti is busy laughing. You're laughing that I censored myself. Cool. So take us through what's going on today. I know you came here with a mission. You wanted us to talk about something. Let's chop it up. I think something that you did mention like over our little chat is that you want us to touch on the whole idea around freelancing, right?
Yeah.
And just take us through like the whole conversation. Start us through the whole conversation and we'll unpack everything from there. And then, we're going to talk about something a bit more current after that.
Okay. I think, so just building off the thing, 2 episodes ago maybe, where we spoke about digital nomads, I think South Africa has a really rapidly growing tech space, right?
Yeah.
But then what's interesting with South Africa is how our economy works, right? And for those who don't know, essentially South Africa is unique in the sense that there's 2 sectors of our economy, right? We have the formal economy, we have the informal economy, In the formal economy, that's your corporate, your big companies, use the bank, pay tax, etc. Things are very streamlined, very direct, very structured, In the informal economy, we have, the lady down the road who sells amakota from what do they call it? A trailer. The guy at the spaza, the guy selling t-shirts, So all those sort of professions play into the informal sector, right? And what's sort of interesting is to understand how technology is transforming and affecting the informal sector, right? What I like to call the hustle economy. Everyone likes to hustle, Yeah, and there was just quite a few. I feel like there's so much we can speak about here, but I think South Africa presents a rather interesting case study, to sort of analyze the sin. And so, yeah, essentially that's how South Africa works.
How
And
South Africa works, yeah.
yeah, that's how South Africa works.
I actually have a question. Do you think we'll ever see like a Yoko machine in taxis, bro?
I question why they haven't done that yet, because it makes no sense that you always have to pay in cash in the taxi.
Bro, imagine. I feel like it's gonna defeat that whole purpose of 200 rand in the morning, dog.
No.
You know that 200 rand in the morning. Imagine paying 200 rand in the morning, going in the
Yeah.
taxi. There's no change, bro. That
But
guy
you know
will
what?
chase you up.
Petrol,
The taxi
petrol.
driver will fight with you.
I think it's a petrol issue, because this was something tying back
yeah.
into maybe what we're talking about today with Uber and freelancing and gig economy and all that. I remember this one time, it was 2 years ago. I needed to get an Uber, right? I was far from home. So this Uber came here, and it saw where we were going. The guy looked at me and he's like, "Do you have cash?" I said, "No, I don't have cash. Why do you need cash?" He points at the petrol level. He's
Ish.
like, "It's below empty, bro." So this guy looks at me. He's like, "We can make it. I've seen worse, but it's bad, right?" So I kind of get why taxis need to carry cash just to avoid situations like that.
I get that, but like, now we'll be dropping ideas. But like, it's a thing of like, man, like we living in the
Convenience, right?
we living in the
Convenience.
fourth industrial
Yeah.
revolution. Like if you share like a young Yoko taxi driver taps there, the money goes to the taxi driver's phone.
Not his
But-
account.
but-
Yeah.
It can't be his account.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's
But
the issue.
maybe that's the issue. But the thing is that like you can use your phone to like tap, or you can just have petty cash. As every business, you can have petty cash.
Yeah.
You can have petty cash. Because I'm thinking about it, like you're talking about informal sectors. I'm like, how come no taxi? I haven't seen a Yoko, but
Yeah.
imagine tapping in a taxi, dog. I'd be so nah.
I think that's quite
It's future.
interesting though, because when you look at it, a lot of people in South Africa actually don't use bank accounts,
You know, yeah.
which is why you have companies like Time Bank and Capitec, which are trying to sort of change that. And they're reaching in areas a lot of people aren't reaching into.
That is true.
That's also quite an important thing to note, that a lot of people actually just don't use normal bank accounts,
Yeah.
which is actually interesting about the economy in terms of the cash value as well, bringing back to that.
Okay, no, fair enough. My whole point is the whole idea around how technology is like shaping things right now. Some may look at it from a good perspective, some may look at it from a bad perspective. Something that you're talking about, you made an example like off the cameras about a lady who's running a bakery and all that kind of stuff, right? She has so many things to do and all that kind of stuff. Why does she employ people to like maybe make her social media post and all of that? And now if we include technology, you now find that, oh, the person can literally chat GPT a prompt and be like, hey, create me a poster and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's where the fears now start sparking, because now you just be like, oh yeah, our graphics designers are now disappearing. Our social media team are disappearing now, because literally once you watch a YouTube video too, you're already equipped. And through experience and you just getting familiar with platforms, a lot of people do get scared. But I think you're coming from a sense whereby there's a bit of some good being done. So just take us through that. Like, what good can you see being done from the whole chat around the whole tech situation being in informal settlements or informal sectors? I'm saying settlement sectors.
And I think one of the main things I'd say I've noticed and sort of engaged in myself, I feel like it goes back to the whole conversation of, will AI take over jobs? I feel like at the end of the day, it's a tool which you can use and exploit, for lack of a better word, to enhance your offerings, right? I feel like it makes sense that Usi's Porsche, who's running a bakery, could use ChatGPT to, make a poster. And I think it sort of opens it up to more opportunities,
And saves the time too.
Yeah, and saves the time. But I think it's a tool that enhances the business, that enhances the economy, by sort of allowing her to create more premium quality, more professional quality work, in advertising, which in turn, contributes to the economy, more people notice it. So in terms of that, that's how she could use technology to assist her. But I think we also see it happening in other ways, right? A very famous example, like Uber Eats, right? the people who are driving for Uber Eats delivering food are part of the tech informal economy. If you think of it, right? Because Uber Eats is an e-commerce platform, right? It's an online digital. It's a technology used which creates jobs, and that's the way sort of that technology can create jobs for people. Yeah, I think there's quite a few examples. Uber Eats. We're speaking about Spaza Eats.
We're talking about
Yeah,
Spaza Eats.
Spaza Eats as well.
Bolt is a good example. There are also these health apps that are coming up, like where medical professionals can actually like now be able to like give they can offer their services like medical consultations through the phones and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's not informal though.
Yeah, it's more formalized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's more
formalized.
formalized, right? So like, is it more of like, oh yes, is it more of a thing of like when it an example that we were talking about like behind the scenes was like you see how Mr. D Foods doesn't give you access to other areas, like they don't deliver in other areas, right? So Spaza it does fall in that category because it's a thing of like it's targeting those same spots and also accommodating restaurants that are just found in informal settlements. Is that like the whole gist of it?
I mean, I'd say Spaza Eats is sort of because on Spaza Eats you may find your Kota shop, your those gourmet shops, but you're not gonna find Steers, you're not gonna find McDonald's, that's like the main difference. But it empowers people within a specific community, sort of,
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I feel like it helps even like older people instead of having to walk to the far shops down there. Spaza Eats, you get what you need delivered straight to your door. For example, it's also one of those things.
Fair enough, fair enough. So now, in terms of the whole tech space, right? I think something that's really popping up is the whole idea of freelancing, the hustle economy,
Yeah.
right? And what you're saying is that most of the guys that are being targeted right now, or most of the guys that are on these platforms that have their businesses registered on those platforms, those are guys that do not fall under the formal sector, right? So now, since those are informal businesses, right? Now let's look into the individual person, right? So you find that, like, for example, let's say we have a Tabo, right?
Yeah.
We have a Tabo. Tabo recently, I don't know, Tabo recently graduated from a boot camp, 3-month boot camp, right? But Tabo cannot get a job, but Tabo is able to do side gigs. Would you say that that's sort of like a way of him contributing as an informal business, but from an individual sense? I don't know if you get what I mean.
I mean, I definitely agree, to be honest. I think that does form part of the informal sector. And I think the reason South Africa has an informal sector is because the formal sector is cooked.
It's failing us, yeah.
And I mean, jobs, we have a jobs crisis. Majority of our youth is unemployed. And the informal sector arose because of that, as a response to that, by people to say, we need to get by, we need to do something, we need
That's
to make
true,
money,
yeah.
And so I think when we use Tabo as an example, right? This is where it gets interesting with tech, right? Because there are platforms where Tabo can use the skills he's learned from that bootcamp and go become a freelance software developer.
Upwork and
Upwork, Fiverr.
yeah.
There's a whole lot of apps like that, and I think it's an interesting aspect to note. Is the informal sector competing with the formal sector, or is it addressing a completely different scenario and need?
I think it's competing. Funny enough, like Lucky was talking about this in in a lecture, but he wasn't talking about like the informal sector, but he was just basically talking about startups. I feel like startups, like if you don't have it okay, if you don't have it registered and stuff and all of that, I would take that as an informal thing because maybe as a startup you get you and your friends and then you're like, okay guys, let's just freelance as a company, software, whatever, right? I think in terms of competition, there is competition if the business in that informal sector is being proper, if it's like in a proper structure, if that makes sense, because it's providing jobs basically,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, maybe it's competing from that regard, but I feel like it's just taking time. I feel like informal businesses don't have a lot of cash injection compared to like a formal business, if that makes sense. Because with an informal business, right? Let's say you go to a bank, right? By the way, I might be wrong, but let's say you go to a bank, right? Like obviously you have to show them that okay, this is like the what you call this thing. This is the papers that I have for my businesses and all that kind of stuff. But if you have nothing to show for it, let's say you own like a trailer where you're selling quotas. If you have nothing to show for it, you don't have access to funds to actually like expand. You have to depend on the fact that you have a lot of customers coming to you and you're saving money from whatever profit you're making in order to try and expand, right? So I feel like there is competition in terms of job creation, but there's not like enough backing, if that makes sense. Because number one, cash flow does drive businesses, right? If you guys can see, if a good example, ESCOM, when ESCOM needed bailing out, government gave them money. That was a cash injection, right?
Yeah.
SAA, cash injection, right? When most of your companies are failing, what happens? Or when your small formal companies are failing, big companies buy them. That's a form of cash injecting, right? So there is competition from getting people jobs, because like let's take for example a Sis Queen, right? Sis Queen has a trailer, starts getting cash. All of a sudden, she now has enough money to maybe get like a proper nice shop where she can set tables and stuff. She employs 2 people, 3 people. She has contributed to the economy by employing other people, right? That's an informal business, right?
So would you
But
say the
then
goal is to go from informal business to formal business?
I feel like that also happens. I feel like that's like, I don't think anybody would want to stay in an informal business for a long time. I feel like there's always a transition.
It depends. I mean, you're gonna pay taxes.
There's that question as well, though. But I feel like that's sort of where technology comes into play, because I feel like it brings a whole lot of resources to that informal trader. You know, when I think in the last episode, Pretty had mentioned it about when you open a company in SA, you need to like hire a law firm to sort everything out for you, which costs like millions. You know, but I feel like with tech, we sort of bypass that process. Since Queen can use tech to sort of get her financing, accounting side in order. You know,
Or like, yeah, like with Sage and
for example,
yeah, we have those platforms. Yeah, no, I get that, but then at the same time, right? I don't. Maybe this is just an idea that I'm thinking, that I'm like getting off the top of my head,
Yeah.
right? Yes, that's my. ah. But basically, right? I don't feel like a business that starts in an informal environment will stay in an informal. Okay, maybe like your quota shops and all those kind of things, but I don't think people would want to stay in an informal place for a long time, because you start facing certain issues. You start facing certain issues. For example, a good example that's even currently going on right now is the whole spaza shops thing, right? Spaza shops, everybody had to register, blah 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 blah. That shows that they're now a formal business. I feel like we also need to define what it means, what we have to define and see the difference between a formal business, what makes something a formal business and what makes something an informal business, right? And a proper definition is that once you get registered, you are now a formal business, right? So there comes a time, like I said, where things start get shaking and like things start like moving, because it's a thing of, you're now being tracked down for taxes. You're being tracked down for a lot of things. Compliance. If you're selling food and all of that kind of stuff, there'll come a point whereby you have to get licenses that you are allowed to actually sell products.
Yeah.
As much as you have like all the technology advancements and all of that, there still comes a time where you might have to like make that transition. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I feel like companies don't stay in informal. It's just like startups, bruh.
I think that goes to like a whole other conversation though. Because I think a lot of, I mean, like startups, you know, there's a quote where they say 99% of startups are built to fail, you know?
And that's 99% of startups fail.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Okay.
They just fail.
Yeah, they fail,
Oh,
you know?
Okay, fair enough.
And I
How
think
many
it
startup ideas
sort
have
of
I?
relates. I know the startups just like, I mean, but when you look at it, the way startups are structured, they sort of structured in a way that create a product, test, good, bad, okay. If it's bad, good, let's continue. If it's
Fast
bad,
paced. It's fast paced.
fast paced, you know. And I feel like that's a similar thing we have within the informal sector, like you said with the screen and her business, you know, which I feel like contributes to a sort of, how do I phrase it? I want to say apprehension towards formalizing and going all in within these businesses. I feel like people really need to invest in the informal sector because I feel like we said, the formal sector cooked whatever, but I feel like people really need to invest in the informal sector, because if companies or small businesses are going to go from informal to formal, we're creating jobs, we're creating opportunities, we're creating so much in terms of economic growth, you know, from that. So I think there's also a real incentive to invest within the small economic and informal sector as well.
Are they called SMEs?
Small, medium-owned
Well, that would be you
enterprises, yeah.
being a real business formalized. I mean, there's a place for both formal and informal sector. I don't think there's a world in which everyone in the informal sector has now become, official and the informal sector's gone. Because I'm just thinking of an example with my grandma, for example, during I forgot when, but it was a period where money was a bit tight back home, and she just started selling. What was she selling? I don't forgot.
Where?
But she opened a little shop and she was selling things with help from my cousins. And not because the goal was to formalize anything, just to make some small cash on the side, right? So the goal with that business, if I can even call it that, wasn't to become this big thing that has to get formalized. The goal was to just get by. And I think with most cases, the goal is to get by with South African informal sector, more specifically, right? So there's a place for both. I don't think it's like accurate to say that one is competing with the other in like a general sense, because there's reasons behind why each of them exist. I don't think they like diametrically opposed to each other. They can exist together and still function in that sense. And maybe just coming back to the Uber Eats stuff and all that, right? So again, with the Uber Eats, like Tabo, you mentioned he could freelance, or maybe you could consider becoming an Uber driver, right? A lot of people have friends who considered it. Then they looked into the economics and realized it doesn't make much sense. Those guys don't make much money, to be fair. It's quite terrible. So yeah, with the sense of Uber drivers, like those guys are kind of, I don't want to say they're getting abused by Uber.
They're in precarious
But they kind of are, yeah. Especially also with the freelancing thing, considering that as well. Like we mentioned that the formal sector is in shambles.
Yeah.
And companies know this. And when you go out there looking for freelance work, people will abuse you. Like people will have expectations, monetary wise, that you feel like you have to meet, because you're competing with, I don't want to say this, but you're competing with like Pravesh from India who's willing to do the work for like $5 an hour, right? So it's like, okay, if I want to get my foot in the door and show that I'm capable, I kind of have to set the bar pretty low in terms of what I want to charge, the type of work I'll take on just to get my foot in the door. And I feel like a lot of people get stuck in that sort of mentality where it's like, oh, I have to lower my expectations, I have to lower. And it's kind of hard to get out of that, especially with freelancing. So I don't know, have you guys experienced that before? I mean, you in the creative field.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I feel like people always want something that's cheaper,
Exactly.
Like there's always that
They
dynamic.
don't think about quality, just like the
quality,
price.
just
Yeah.
whatever's the cheapest, let's go for that,
Yeah.
But I think that's sort of, I mean, I remember when I started getting into like web development and stuff, I'd reach out to companies and say, when a 3-clipper, nice website now,
Exactly.
3-clipper,
Yeah.
like I used to do that. And I've made myself, now I'm expensive, though I'm expensive now, I'm expensive now. But like, I used to do that, and that's how I hustled. That's how I made ends meet,
Yeah.
So that's also like an interesting aspect to look at. Obviously, there is that exploitation effect. There is all that to consider. But I feel like it's an area worth exploring. I feel like, especially in terms of making ends meet,
So would you guys say that okay, it is happening, but what are better ways of like the informal sector being backed by the formal sector? Let's just say that they exist for different reasons and stuff. But do you think like they can like come together in a sense?
Or like applying for funding.
Apply for funding, maybe get backed, maybe I don't know.
I know a situation like that would require some form of
Yeah.
documentation, because again, it's a risk that the company would be taking on to back this little thing that someone starts it. You'd want some type of insurance that it's a real thing, that they're taking it seriously. So I don't know if my grandma would consider getting funding for a little shop that she was starting just to make some cash on the side. I think maybe funding comes more into play when the conversation turns into what you were talking about, where the goal is to become a formal thing at some point in time, right? Like maybe I'm starting a quarter business today, but I'm not starting with the intention of just making money on the side. I want to like actually franchise this thing. I want to make it a big thing, because like that's a new thing that's happening, where people are kind of transforming these traditionally gassy businesses, these gassy local things into real
Experiences,
formal
yeah.
experiences, right? Like
Zignies.
it's an experience to have a
Bro,
quota now.
Zignies is actually one of
yeah.
them
Like
because
Chisanyamas. They're
Bro,
becoming a thing, right? Like
You also
it's
got to be like, as you street now, it's just like,
yeah,
it's out of my budget now.
it's exactly like that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So where to be like that used to be a thing for the community, for the
Yeah.
people. Now it's an experience. He's selling you this
Tourist
idea.
type,
You
yeah.
know, it's like, oh, eat like the Kasi people. You know, it's
like the
becoming-
Kasi people
like,
is
oh,
wild.
No, like I always get shocked when I go on like Uber Eats or something, and I see a quota for $150 or something crazy like that. It's like what?
Yeah.
I know how much a quota costs to make. I know what it should cost.
There's
but-
this restaurant at Wits. I won't give it a name. There's this place at Wits.
Yeah, and it's
When
just
I find
crazy.
you,
Like they take these traditionally Kasi things and now they're transforming them into experiences and they're selling that. So people are, especially it's mostly led by youth. So like people from Kasi, or maybe your grandmother used to make kotas, and then you growing up, you're like, hey, we could actually make this an actual thing. Because we have the knowledge and experience of interacting with the technology, interacting with social media, and seeing that people are actually starting businesses and making real things out of them, right? Whereas our parents, or maybe just, or parents and grandparents, may be thinking a bit smaller and just thinking about how to get my kid through school. Now with us, it's like, oh, I got through school. I know I can make this a thing. I know people out there want to experience the same thing that my grandmother's been giving to the local community. So then in that sense, maybe you then seek out funding, try to formalize what your grandmother's been doing for the past few years, make it a thing, franchise it. Perhaps it becomes something real. So maybe that's how they relate to each other. Maybe like our generation is now becoming that transition point between informal and formal in a way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. That's actually quite an interesting view, honestly. That's actually quite an interesting view.
I think looking at this, so there was, I think maybe 2023.
Yeah.
In the Discovery Grad Hack, the group of guys who won the Grad Hack that year, essentially what they made was a platform that connects clients or users to small or informal businesses for a specific trade, So I'd say it was like a Uber, but like for everything. So you need a gardener, okay, hop in the app, you find a list of vetted gardeners, you find a list of, vetted gardeners.
I love how you
approved by
said.
the app.
I love how you said vetted actually.
Vetted.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Because
but
you can't just have anybody there.
that's an important aspect. Yeah.
Imagine having me there. I'm just a comp sci student, but I just want to make
Yeah,
money,
just
and
make
then
a
I'm
quick
just
buck,
there.
you know?
It's like, Kitty, do you imagine seeing me there chopping grass?
What? But I mean, it's quite interesting though, just looking at it from that perspective, and that brings me to how technology is revolutionizing the informal sector, right?
Yeah.
When I think of that, right, I mean, you can go on that app, you can find someone who doesn't have a website. You can't Google this person and find TK whatever gardening services. They don't have a website. You can find.
They can't afford it even.
Those type of
Yeah.
things. I
Do well,
feel
get it done, $300.
damn, now, fast. But I think I want us to look
Vibe
at
code,
how
I think.
technology is revolutionizing the informal sector.
Yeah.
F&B actually, the thing you just mentioned now with the grad hack, what they did with the connecting you to trade workers. F&B in the app, I think they recently added that feature.
Okay.
I remember my mom was saying she wanted some housework done or whatever, and she went on the app and found someone on that.
Yeah,
that was
like-
interesting to see.
That's actually an interesting way of looking at it, eh? Because like,
So it's like they're working
yeah,
together.
like they're working together. Because like you, for example, it seems like my views are changing on this episode, but it does make sense. Because I'm just thinking about the whole thing of let's say I can't afford a website. I don't even know where to get started. All I know is I know how to work with my hands, bro. Like call me to like fix something I can do, but I don't know anything. But I want marketing done for me. I want this done for me. Maybe a way like also these formal businesses are helping apart from the whole cash thing is also through marketing as well. Because you do get marketing from that whole thing. And obviously when a lot of people like actually book you, your ratings do go up on the app, I assume, right? So I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying, that my views are changing on this episode. But it actually makes sense, and it's good to see from that perspective, like how companies are now working, right? Maybe I just wasn't informed, but as much as that whole system is there, right? We're going to probably find ourselves in a position where a lot of people are now going to be on the app. you know.
Mm.
And now what happens is that the market does get saturated,
Comes a
and
race to the
then
bottom.
and then now you're going to find that people are now getting unemployed again.
Yeah.
You see, so now like, what do you think would be the solution to get by through all of that? Do you think it must be a thing of how can I put it? Maybe instead of, for example, instead of an individual in this economy, instead of the individual possessing only one set of skill, they can actually use that other set of skill to actually sustain them in that environment, in this ever-changing tech environment. For example, if you were so used to making posters and all that kind of stuff, and now things are just like a prompter way to be done, do you think that it's advisable for someone to actually try and learn other skills probably related to what they're doing in order to like expand on their broad range of skills so that they don't fall under the like below like the food chain and stuff? I don't know.
I mean, let's see. So you're basically saying AI is kind of making some things obsolete in a sense, like.
It's making some, I wouldn't want to say obsolete. Yeah, it's making some things obsolete. Yeah, let's be honest. Let's be
I mean,
honest.
it's never a bad idea as an individual to diversify your skills. But there's obviously things that you do enjoy, like you're passionate about. Maybe if you're a music creator or something, and now people are saying, "Oh, AI is coming to take your music job," that might hurt you.
But
because
there's literally a Drake song called,
Drake is like McDonald's, so you can't tell the difference, right? Like McDonald's is just slop. It tastes good, like it's fine, but let's be honest. Drake is not some avant-garde type music. I'm sorry if that hurts you, but
But your
Drake
credit card
is
is up there.
McDonald's.
bro. If you guys can
Drake
see
is
what's
McDonald's. Okay, there we go.
They're
That's the
not like
clip.
us.
Social media, that's the clip. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, no, these tools are getting to a point where they're decent, right? They're Drake level. But
Jesus Christ.
even that aside, with the whole freelancer thing, the fact that these platforms made it so easy for people to put themselves out there, made it so that a lot of people put themselves out there, and now it's harder to stand out. And now with the advent of AI, it's becoming even harder to stand out. So it's like, what do? Do you like learn a bunch of things and then throw a bunch of things on the wall and hopefully something
Prompt
sticks?
engineer.
Right? Like it becomes a bit.
That's an actual like career.
It is prompt engineer, yeah.
only, like,
It's a bit difficult to set yourself apart in an environment where everyone is kind of good enough to get the job, right? So I don't know. It's tricky. I mean, there'll always be a demand for quality, but that's like a very low demand, right? And it's costly. All right. Apparently, we're going over time.
Apparently going over time. Okay.
What was I say?
No, it's
Yeah.
So I'm all over the place this episode.
yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's actually, I think people can even see that we just went through the roughest of
Yeah.
our lives actually. But just to like wrap up the whole conversation, do you guys think that with the way things are going right now, especially in South Africa, do you think freelancing is the way? I mean, Kamu, I know you make websites. I know you in contact with clients. I know you're making bank for the PS5.
Yes,
So
Girls, hit me up.
so
Open.
like do you think being in that space is still like the opportunities are still there?
Oh, 100%. No, definitely. Like it comes back to that conversation of people still want quality. As much as you can say, oh, there's these apps that make apps for you. You know, you can use AI to make an app. Most people don't really want to do all that. Like if someone comes to you and they say they want to make an app, oftentimes they don't have the time or they just don't have the capacity, not the capacity, but like they're not committed enough to go and learn this whole tool, because you still have to learn the AI tool that makes the app for you, right? Most people don't want to do that. If they want an app, they want someone who's capable to do the app and walk them through it, right? Obviously, there's some people who, given that the money is constrained, they will go ahead and learn those tools. But oftentimes, there's still a lot of opportunity. Now, when it comes to maybe things like graphic design and all that, the conversation becomes a bit different because the barrier to entry is a bit lower, right? It's not as hard to open up Canva than it is to open up some of these coding tools, right? So it depends on what skill you're really talking about there.
All right, cool. And Luba?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, to be honest, you're gonna have to embrace technology, especially in the freelance market, to stand out, right? I'd kind of disagree with you in a bit to say it makes everyone the same. I feel like through
enough,
technology.
enough.
Okay, yeah. But I just feel like through technology, it opens up so much doors, so many more windows. Um, I mean, yeah, just looking at it. I mean, like you said, with graphic design, the barriers to entry may be lower, but that I find that to be an interesting sort of topic in terms of navigating AI usage within creative spaces, for example. I find that to be its own interesting topic. But I feel like at the end of the day, you need to embrace these tools. They are there, and eventually, other people are going to embrace the tools, and you're going to be left behind
Yeah.
because you're all anti AI, anti this. You're going to be left behind. But embrace the tools, learn them, use them to their best capacity. I'd say that's in order to stand out. I mean, as a freelancer, there's no need for you to be going into Canva and writing an invoice. There's no need. You can just
Automated.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, send. Thank you.
Okay, now fair enough. And before we wrap it up, right? Just to like quickly go into, because we're talking about AI and all of that. I think you guys know that there's a possibility that Starlink might be coming to South Africa, right? And I think you guys saw that from not to like make this a political chat, but I think
It's not political.
Okay,
It's
okay,
it's
Just
not
current
political.
affairs.
okay. So
Current
like
affairs.
I think like you guys saw that
Can't mention Elon Musk without sounding political now. It's crazy.
really, but
Calculus Maximus.
the whole thing is what do you guys think the future is for South Africa once Starlink lands here?
Cheaper data.
Yeah. I
Cheaper
think
data. That's what I want.
But doesn't that not like affect like your other mobile operators?
Competition is good. As
gonna say.
consumers, we need. I don't care if Vodacom loses. I don't care. Like
the thing is they have to
competition is
adapt
good.
at some
They have to
stage.
adapt. They have to
Yeah.
innovate, make better things. Right? If someone comes here and says, "I'm going to offer the same thing you're offering for cheaper and it's faster," well, as the company, I have to now say I'm going to lose customers. What do I do to make them stay? Right? Do I make my stuff cheaper? I have to innovate somehow. So Starlink, come here. More can come, man. As much as possible. These guys are ripping. I had to buy data today. I looked at the prices. I was so
Yeah.
You use Vodacom, that's the thing.
I use Vodacom.
And
I don't know why, but yeah, no, Starlink coming, it's a great thing. I think it benefits some people in rural areas as well who can't have access to like things like fiber and all that. So yeah, no, Starlink overall good thing. Elon, yeah,
you're gonna be like
Yeah,
he's
I
gonna
like
be
that.
like Rupert. We need you.
amen.
Bring it on. I
Bring
mean,
it on.
I agree with Gam. I think what you mentioned about access to people in
Yeah.
rural areas, I mean, that's a very important aspect. A lot of people don't have access. And that sort of just sort of filters how people are affected by certain emerging technologies or react to them. And so I feel like something like Starlink is good in the sense that it gives people access. It allows us to fully participate in the fourth industrial revolution. It allows us to fully participate in the tech informal economic sector. So I think
It's
my feelings for Elon aside, yeah.
so it's going to just ramp up tech in J.
Yeah, but it's also good competition. Like,
Okay.
let's see what Vodacom responds. Let's see what
Honestly,
Celsi says.
yes.
No, because I'm actually curious because you find that, for example, like even these banks are now coming up with like their own SIM cards and all of that. So it's like there's so many mobile operators. There's even this other new app. I think it's called Melon. These guys, they I don't know if it's Melon. It's this other green MVPO, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they're called. Melon.
Melon Mobile.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The
Melon.
CLZA.
Yeah, so like literally like these guys, they're also like they're basically like, okay, you're allowed to like choose your own price plan. You can choose how much data you use per month, you can choose how much airtime you use. So I feel like you said, it's going to like literally take competition to.
That's what we need. That's what we need. Yeah.
But I know for the fact that a lot of people are going to jump on Starlink once it lands. So all those guys are going to see like a whole rush of customers being drained out of them. And yeah, we just have to wait and see what the future holds. But other than that, I think we can wrap things up now. I believe we have our bike games now.
Yes, sir.
This is actually my favorite part of the podcast. To see the general knowledge. I hope it's not bad. Let's hear Pretty's voice.
Yeah,
So that
the people miss you, bro.
people miss you, guys.
Okay, hi guys, hi everyone. How you doing?
Tired.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to the most interesting part of the podcast. After all the technicalities and all the serious stuff has been done, I have a question for you guys.
A question. It's only once a day.
Oh, look, I'm
Yeah,
disappointed.
but make it worthwhile. Make it worthwhile. I'm gonna give you guys. I'm not gonna give you. I'm gonna give you guys maybe like 5 seconds to think.
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah. Bro, my brain is
Just
fried.
5.
Ha,
Just 5 is
ha.
enough. 6.
7.
Yeah. Okay.
6.5.
10.
Just 6 seconds
Round it
to
down.
think. And basically the question is, could you guys please give me 2 trends that need to die in the year 2025? 2 trends that need to die in the year 2025. For example, a phrase like Dilulu or something like chop rice or something like that. Whatever you guys think of.
Start that.
No, start here.
Yeah.
You can't start with it, but that makes no sense.
Start in the middle. Start in the middle.
Okay, we're gonna start with our guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
The man of the hour.
Okay, 2 trends.
Yeah.
2 or 1, like 2. Okay. Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. AI art and TikTok trends.
Just
You
the
know,
whole thing.
People are gonna hate on me for that. It's,
Everything about TikTok.
TikTok
What type
trends,
of TikTok
bro.
trends?
you know,
What?
The dances.
You know that song? Yeah, I push it.
Which that?
You do it for us. Do it for us. I don't know. Can you do it for us?
If you
Which
get
one-
waffles
which
in
is that
here on.
I don't know.
Hey guys,
That's
it's like
all.
I'm on the other side of TikTok, eh?
But AI arts, we're exploiting independent studios and art houses. We should get rid of that.
Yo.
Those studio kibbles.
You
yeah,
have a
that's
studio
the main
Guinea
thing.
background. Yeah, you guys can't
Actually,
talk. You guys are
yeah.
all hypocrites.
Yeah, actually, I have
Hypocrites.
one live. I have
Hypocrites.
one live.
How do you feel about that, huh?
You know, I feel
Fix your
like people
eyes.
engage. Oh wow, see, literally he's him and the person behind the camera. Wow, this is a professional environment, okay? Yes, but anyway, yeah, I feel like
Just anti.
people use it, you know.
No,
But at the end of the
no.
day, as long as
My
we're
mom is watching.
active about it, you know, and
My
just
mother is watching.
conscious.
So you're
Happy about
anti-AI
it.
art, anti.
I'm not anti-AI art, but we need to address the questions of IP, intellectual property, credits, those type of things.
Is it ethical
Those need
as
to be
well?
addressed.
Like, does it feel ethically right?
You can't ask anything because you have it as your background. Like,
No, I'm not. I'm not publishing. I'm not publishing things.
I'm kidding.
It's complex. I just think
Yeah, this is strange.
AI companies should give credits to the people they use as part of their data. If you're going to use Studio Cable's images, give credit. They influence our data. That's it.
Bro, you know, like literally on Monica AI, ne? So I recently got Monica AI, right? Plug in y'all for y'all that feel like ChatGPT is expensive. Monica AI, right? All your pro AI models, everything is there, only for 250 rand.
There's a catch. Surely there's a catch. What's the catch?
The catch is that you're only restricted to 200 accesses, not unlimited.
That's me in a
But-
day. That's me in one day.
But you have a problem. But you have 2,000 credits. So once that 200 access is done, you can abuse your credits. Okay, but the credits chow. But then the normal versions, there's no timeouts. You know how ChatGPT has the timeouts? There's no timeouts. Just know there's no timeouts. You can still abuse it. You have 5,000 queries that you can make without timeouts. But something that I saw, right, when you go to images, man, hey, bro, you can literally make like a proper animation, like clean, like it's actually scary.
I think that's
It
an
is
art
too
form on its own.
scary.
Like just AI image generation is an art form.
It's actually scary, bro.
Okay, guys.
Kind of
Okay.
games.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry,
what about
Jack.
you? What about you? What about
No,
you?
we're going that side.
Are you going to me?
Yeah.
Ish. Ah, guys, skinny jeans. Skinny jeans is one of them. Yo.
You know, you fashion people. You fashion people.
Yo, skinny.
Skinny jeans can't die though. It's like
Bro,
cockroaches.
bro. No, you know
Like
those ones.
cockroaches.
You know those ones that are tight like this.
They can't die. Like how long
Like
have skinny jeans
cockroaches.
been a thing? No matter how hard people try
Okay,
to take it out of
valid,
fashion,
valid.
they're always around like a cockroach, man. It's always around.
Skinny jeans.
And they just hate, man. Skinny jeans are fine.
Are you guys going to say? Are you guys going to censor me?
What?
Okay. Okay, let me just say being nonchalant, brother. You must be chalant.
Brush.
Be chalant.
Be chalant. Don't be nonchalant. Don't act like you don't care.
That's
bruh.
a personality though. It's not
Nah,
a trend. Is that a trend?
No, there are people who make it a trend. Yeah, there are people who make it as a trend.
I hear
Like,
you.
no, you know what, bro? Like they'll be like type. Oh yeah,
type,
calm.
type.
Deep down, when you go home, you're busy listening to The Weeknd. They're crying. I don't wanna know. So Yes. I almost saying on public. Okay. Yeah, my brother, it's you now.
Well, I don't know. I thought I'd have time to think while you guys spoke. I don't know any trends. I don't know, man. I don't know. Zakiti, you can take my place. What trends must die?
These are all female.
Yeah, for the women. Yeah.
Actually, give her the mic. Give her the mic. Wait, give her the mic. Give her the mic.
We'll cater to the women. What are the stats like? It's like 2% women listening, or what are they? I know it's always like that.
I'm actually curious.
Let's check.
What?
Let's check.
After this episode, the stats.
I want to see the
facing up,
YouTube
boy.
stats actually. Yeah.
One trend that's for some reason coming back. I don't know if you guys know this item of clothing, but capris.
What are capris?
You see,
Capri-Sun.
what is that? They're like pants, kind of leggings, but they stop here. Why are you wearing
You got
three-quarter
pictures?
leggings?
Aye.
Why are you wearing three-quarter leggings, guys?
Stop it. I've seen the picture.
No,
No.
no, 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 no.
Don't do it.
Let's cut, Buffers.
Don't
Let's
do
cut.
it. I
Number
agree.
two,
I agree.
the sew-ins. Ladies.
What are so
is?
is?
What is that?
Guys,
No, hear me out.
you guys can actually see what chits. You the fact that we're googling this,
Sew-ins.
can actually see what chits.
Hey yo.
Sew-ins, right? The thing is, the natural sew-in with the hairpiece that costs 600 rand. First one.
I have no
I'm
opinion.
trying to see
Let's
what's
talk.
wrong with this.
I have no opinion.
I'm trying to observe.
The
People
thing
that
is,
drop pictures
you're probably
from,
looking at a really nice sew-in, not the ones that are going on in Bram, my brother.
I think okay, because it seems like you guys also have, maybe give to the other camera, to the everybody at the back. Yeah.
All the ladies. I
Yeah.
want to flip the camera on them.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, someone
that's
turn
fine.
around.
Okay. Pretty. Two chins.
Yo.
We're giving you time actually to answer.
Trends to what? To get topped in the year 2025.
Yeah.
I think dating must stop being a trend. People must just get married.
You must just get married.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was looking to
Either,
the
it's either you
second
get
part.
married or you do courtship or nothing. Like dating is such a trend now. It's like a flex and it's not really interesting. Situationships, yeah, friends with benefits. Like, nah, chop it off. It's done.
Seriousness, ne?
Yeah.
Guys, it's that age, it's the maturity, bro. It's the age. No, it's the
Dating
age.
should die. Okay.
Wait, no, there's another one. You gave only one. What's the other one?
Yo. It ish. Problem is I'm like a social media exec. Like I really like all trends online. They're all important because they're good for marketing. I only have one. Has to be
That's okay.
dating. Yeah, just chop dating.
Dating dead.
Job dating is actually crazy.
Okay, for me, right?
As someone who is dating.
Wow, I didn't know I was getting exposed today. Okay, but my first one is Adidas Sambas. I think they're kind of average.
Adidas what?
I
Sambas.
concur.
Are those shoes?
Google.
I feel like
Google
they're
that.
not very. Like, no, that shouldn't come back.
These are
Superstars
nice
shouldn't
though. I
come
like these.
back.
I concur.
Adidas Sambas. I feel like they're not practical. Like, I don't know.
They
Like,
look cool.
I
bro.
heard that
I
the
feel
sole
like
is very thin.
It takes a certain type of people to wear it.
Yeah, it's very flat. The silhouette is too small.
Guys, I think it takes a certain type of people to wear that.
Fair enough.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, not everyone can rock it nicely. And I don't know, just TikTok music. Like I don't like TikTok artists. Like when they blow up and then you can hear like the
Tyga
song
was
was
for the
made for
TikTok.
TikTok.
But that
No,
was-
she just had
Oh
that
wait,
thing, bro.
can I say one trend to accommodate that?
Okay.
That must die. Guys, learning a song because of TikTok. Learning a song because of TikTok.
What's
Guys,
wrong with that? That's just marketing.
Yeah.
no, like, you know what, ne? You can ask someone, personal experience. You can ask someone like, hey, bro, they'll be like, oh yeah, I've heard this song. They've only heard the chorus of that song. They don't know the whole
Hey, what's
song.
wrong with that, bro?
That's kind of
No,
what I
you
mean.
must go and look what you hear that.
They've heard some of the songs.
Yeah, once you hear
No, but what if you only like that part?
Yeah.
Like you don't care about the rest.
That part blew up for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the good
15
part.
seconds.
That's what I don't
15
like.
seconds. Now we should all go. You see that song that you like for 15 seconds? Go to Spotify, search up that song, and listen to the whole thing.
Why would I do that?
Exactly. That's why we only listen to that part.
I want to listen to that part because that's the best part. If I go there, I'm going to be disappointed.
Exactly.
Then what?
Yeah, we should get rid of people who listen to the 15 seconds of a song.
Bro, thank you. Thank you.
I'm
I
saying
fight with
this is
someone
why
in
I'm
the car all
saying
the time.
like they should make the whole song good and not just like one good part. You know?
Okay, valid. I
Okay,
agree.
valid.
So they clip
Now,
me.
Kamu, to you now.
Bro, I don't know. There's so many.
Okay.
I don't know.
I-
I'm sorry.
Alright, guys, you know what? I think.
Stop the trend of pressuring me to answer things.
Okay, what's the
Peer
second?
pressure.
What's the second
Yeah, give
thing
us the
to
second
cancel?
Stop the trend of asking me to answer a question twice.
Nonchalant. You see what we said?
I don't.
Nonchalant.
Whatever, man. Anyway, thank you for watching. This episode was a bit interesting. Sorry about that. We'll be better next one.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
these things happen.
Yeah.
And next time you're going to see your favorite lady pretty in the middle.
I think that's the reason we had too much.
Testosterone.
Yeah, we
Wait,
need,
wait,
we
don't
need
like
some
me today.
balance.
we need some
some balance.
estrogen.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not coming back here.
No, what I was saying is it would have been fantastic if you're a woman.
Yeah, bye.
No. Any special words you want to say to Tyler?
Yeah, you know, few more years, once I operate on the highest level, contributing to the economic sector,
both
formal and
formally,
informal,
most informally.
I shall round about and convolute at your nearest convenience.
Convolute.
Thank you.
Convolute. Oh, so